So the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare was directed by Guy Ritchie, and you didn't need me to tell you that, especially if you wouldn't watch this. Anytime you watch a Guy Ritchie movie, you can just tell with his directing style, this has Guy Ritchie written all over it. And this stars a pretty solid cast. Henry Cavill, Eiza González, Henry Golding is in here, Alan Ritchson. And let me be perfectly clear, this is inspired by true events. I know the super text at the beginning says based on a true story. This is a heavily fictionalized version of events that happened during World War II. Heavily fictionalized. And we follow a group of military officials assigned by British Prime Minister Winston Churchill to hatch a daring plan to neutralize Hitler's fleet, specifically focusing on the German U-boats. And this crew is made up of a motley crew of rogues and mavericks who shoot up all kinds of Nazis. They're dropping F-bombs all over the place. So clearly this is a top secret combat unit using unconventional techniques to battle the Nazis and change the course of the war. Now, good for Guy Ritchie, honestly, getting out there, especially over this past number of years since COVID struck. He's been putting out a lot more of his own original ideas, and he's been writing his own scripts. And I feel like, in terms of his filmography, the movies that he pens, they tend to be the stronger ones. And I feel like this Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is going to go down as one of his more fun achievements. I know it's ironic me saying this, because Henry Cavill is also in this movie, but this, to me, felt like everything Argyle wanted to be. It felt like everything I wanted Argyle to be. And Argyle turned out to be a massive disappointment for me. Even though it wasn't a bad movie by any stretch, I wanted so much more bloodshed, and I wanted a lot more fun and innovative ideas to come out of Argyle. And Ungentlemanly Warfare gave me a lot of that. Now, this is not to say that this movie is completely devoid of uniqueness, because I definitely feel like there's a lot of derivative elements to this movie. And you feel that just in terms of time period, which is captured very well. The production design is rock solid in this movie. Technically speaking, Ungentlemanly Warfare is a very fun Guy Ritchie movie. The direction is very good. The cinematography looks very sleek. The editing is very precise. And I don't know if this is the case with every Guy Ritchie movie that I've ever seen. The score in this movie actually felt better than a usual Guy Ritchie flick. And of course, this movie is rated R, so you're gonna see a lot of bloodshed here, and you get that. I feel like this is Guy Ritchie's most brutal movie in a while. And it's really fun to watch these guys go about their mission. And the camaraderie that's developed between these guys is absolutely fantastic. Henry Cavill will probably be Superman for the rest of his career. And that will probably always be the public perception of him. But I think that's what makes Henry Cavill maybe the most underrated actor working right now. Because people have that perception of him, and they see him fitting this one specific archetype. And then he pulls off a performance like this. Very grungy, very dirty, very vulgar. Definitely not the most put-together soldier that you'll ever come across. And I thought Henry Cavill was absolutely fantastic here. His chemistry with Alan Ritchson specifically was just so awesome. And Alan Ritchson, again, is such a badass in this. I don't know if anybody ever saw the Reacher series, which is on Amazon Prime. It's a great rendition of Jack Reacher. And Alan Ritchson is a badass there as well. And if rumors are to be believed, if Alan Ritchson is going to be James Gunn's main Batman that he goes to, I wouldn't be opposed to it, man. I would not be opposed to it. You can only imagine what that dude's gonna look like under the cowl just beating people up. But no, you have great performances across the board. The camaraderie that's developed, especially between Cavill and Ritchson, like I said, very good. Henry Golding is great in this movie. Hero finds Tiffin gets some good stuff to do. Cary Elwes, I haven't seen him in anything new in a while, but he's kind of the brains of the operation who lays out basically the entire plan in the witty writing that Guy Ritchie has put in here. And Cary Elwes does really great with this. Like, I don't know if it's too early to make this comparison or not, but with how much fun I was having watching this movie, I was getting vibes of Inglourious Basterds, which there's days where I legitimately think that Inglourious Basterds is my favorite Tarantino flick. That's one I may have to talk about down the line. That's a playlist I may have to do, a Tarantino one. I'm digressing. This movie is a real treat. If you're a Guy Ritchie fanboy, you are absolutely going to adore this thing, and you're going to think it's one of the best movies of the entire year. I don't think The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is a perfect movie, though. It is one of Guy Ritchie's better movies that he's come out with, I think. But you can definitely sense all the derivative elements that I was just talking about. And my biggest problem with this thing, I loved the camaraderie between these guys, and I was really disappointed to see how much this script split that storyline and Eiza González's storyline down the middle. And Eiza González is really good in this movie. Like, she was just so electric and so transfixing. Like, you can't help but take your eyes off of this performance. And it works in other movies where you can see both sides of the journey and the destination. And there's times where you actually see more of the destination, and it works really well. But actually seeing the destination and seeing Eiza González's side of this task, it wasn't as interesting. And I don't think it has anything to do with what Eiza González is doing with her performance. I just don't think that the characters on her side of the conflict were handled the best way, in a way that makes them kind of uninteresting. Because anytime her storyline pops up, I'm like, okay, can we get back on the boat with these guys? Can we have more shoot 'em up fun? And it's not like the movie reneges on its promise of giving you shoot 'em up fun, because it absolutely does. It's Guy Ritchie's bloodiest movie that he's put out in a while. It's a very action-heavy movie, as you would expect from a style like Guy Ritchie. And I think if you put more focus on the journey aspect of it instead of the destination, you would have had one of Guy Ritchie's finest achievements. I'm going to give the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare a B+. Like I said, if you enjoy this guy's movies, you're going to think this is probably one of the year's best. But I can't wait to look at this one again. This was a really fun one to check out. Let me know what you thought of the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare down in the comments section. That title is really tough to say out loud. And let me know what your favorite Guy Ritchie movie of all time is. There's a lot that you can pick from. I love discussing all new things in movies and entertainment over here on The Regular. If you've stopped by this channel for the first time today, do consider becoming a subscriber and tap on that thumbs up as well, because this is a great community of geeks, film lovers, and entertainment lovers alike, and y'all are invited to join us. Stay tuned for more videos very soon as summer blockbuster season officially kicks into high gear in about a week or so. It's going to be a lot of fun sharing our thoughts and discussing all things movies with you guys. So with all that being said, back talk, commence.